Hey guys, welcome back. Music Workflow Academy here. It's been a long hiatus. We are back today to discover how to make some music in Ableton Live. First things first, we're going to start off with some Sweely samples, one of my favorite producers. Great for playing live sets. If you haven't heard about him already, check him out. He makes some amazing music. So we're just going to start by right-clicking, inserting a new audio track. Going to rename this using Command R, call it our kick. And we're just going to drag a kick drum in. There's a lot of post-processing on that, so we can just highlight all of this, group it, and then turn it off. And turn the volume back up over here. We can even delete that group. Now let's get some claps in there. Let's delete all of this processing. Okay, so I like the start of this loop, so I'm just going to chop it up and make it into my own kind of loop. So just use Command E to split. Perfect. And I'm going to consolidate that using Command J, double left click, loop that. And now we've got like a nice tasty clap and snare loop layered perfectly. So change the warp type to Complex Pro to help it snap to the grid a bit better. Change the formants and envelope to minimum. So that sounds alright. We're going to get some hi-hats in there. I like these, they're nice and snappy. Definitely do the trick. We've got a grain delay on here, that's what's slowing it down. So we're just going to delete that. Cool, so we've got a generic groove. We're going to get some side chaining on there, side chain this to the kick, which is the next step. Helps the kick punch through a bit more. We're going to take the low end out of the clap and the hats using an EQ8. That just gives space for the kick drum to move through the mix. I'm going to put a drum bus on my kick to add some warmth. Just changing the frequency there, so our kick is in the key of D. Next logical step would be to add a bass line. I'm going to be using a Max for Live plugin from the Probability pack. It is called Create a New MIDI Track, right click, left click on Insert MIDI Track, or Command Shift T for the preset, for the default shortcut. Delete these. Okay. We're going to load Melodic Probability, which is a Max for Live plugin, onto our MIDI track. It's going to be a step sequencer to help us launch bass sounds from Ableton. So we're trying to find like a bass sound that we like from the Sweely pack, and we're going to load it into the step sequencer and launch it like that. So we're just going to look for single bass hits. That's a good one. So we can start to draw into our step sequencer and create a pattern here. And there's a famous bass pattern, the descending staircase, which sounds something like that. We can tweak this a little bit. Something a bit hypnotic and groovy. So simple but so effective. We can even add some swing over here. We can change the rate. I'm happy with that bass line for now. So there's a few ways we can record this in. Let's see if this works. Okay, so we're not getting any MIDI. So if you get this problem, we're just going to create a new audio track, and we're going to route this to the melodic probability track. We're going to delete all of the audio effects again. And then we're just going to route this to default MIDI track, which we can rename as melodic probability bass. Then we're just going to arm this, and the audio is going to send straight to our new track, which is going to look something like this. So that's what it looks like generally, and then we're just going to consolidate this. So we've got an 8-bar loop of audio from the melodic probability combined with our bass line, so we've got a nice plucky square wave. Got the audio here. We can loop this now. We can call this recorded bass line. I would also sidechain the bass to the kick. So we're just going to do that now. Sidechain to the kick. Cool, so everything's sounding good. We're just going to quickly Command S to save. I'm going to delete the melodic probability now to save CPU. I'm happy with the bass line. Nice, simple. We can always add audio effects to it after. So now I kind of want some chord stabs. This could work. If I take the low end out possibly. It's quite acidy, which is good. So let's turn them all off. I'm just going to turn on this EQ8. Let's just delete all of this because it's too much. Let's delete all of these. Got all sorts of stuff on there. Okay, that went like that. So we're just going to load our EQ8 on. Just going to loop this little segment here. Something like this maybe. Cool, that's fine. I might take off a bit more low end. Add some chorus. Some delay using our send and return tracks. That's fine for now. So what we can do is if we right click, freeze the track and flatten it, we're going to keep all of these effects. And it's going to look something like that. So now we can disable our send and returns. It's automatically in the bass line. And we can always go in and tweak this some more. Cool, so I want some more call and response with the bass line. So we're just going to look for some more. So, sounds good so far. Just looking for a nice plucky chord stab, something like that actually. Bit of call and response. And again, we're going to take the low end out. Don't worry if you guys can't follow all the way, you're more than welcome to bookmark this tutorial. Watch it a few minutes, come back to it. I could only stomach a few minutes when I first started with Ableton. I know how tricky it can be. I like that, so that sounds good anyway. We've got some more call and response there. I probably won't do this for the whole track. Maybe half of it. And then switch it for a different chord. So start renaming stuff to compartmentalize things. Right, so we're just going to drag all this stuff out. So that's the first drop sorted. And then we're going to have a breakdown. So I'm just going to right click here, add locator, break down. And then we're going to have another drop, drop 2. We'll see how we go from there. So let's start to build our track out. Definitely needs a lot more tracks at this point, but that's fine. We're just building very quickly. Definitely going to speed this track up a bit. These need some reverb, they're too dry. We can add some automation in here. Sorry, I'm trying to right click here, but it's drop 1. So we're going to add some more stuff in, obviously, to bounce the track around. Again, I've accidentally done something there. These tutorials aren't planned at all, it's just all off the cuff. So I hope you appreciate that. So let's incorporate this bass line a bit nicer using an EQ. So we're going to bring in the bass line slowly. Slowly. Is that funny? Something like that, I guess. So it's really slowly just going to come in. just sounds cool. Cool, so I've just had an idea. Took a step away. We're just gonna get a snare here and add like a little snare roll kind of thing. Let's see if there's any single snare hits. Well, there's a lot of cool percussion, which I didn't expect. Don't know why I didn't expect that. Sweely's known for his percussive prowess. Yeah, so that's all I was looking for, just a little snare. So I guess this is where his secret sauce is, just in the cool, weird percussive elements, which just makes perfect sense. So from here, we're just gonna add like a little groovy. Something like this. Let's see. There's more here. Don't worry, if the sound isn't right, we can always change that. I mean, it does the trick for me. I like it. I'm going to call it snare two-step pattern, because it's kind of got that groove to it. Let's see if we can press it. Will it sound any better? To the kick drum. Side chain it to the kick drum. That's in processing. Take the low end out. So it's cool. compressor onto here, just to make it louder. Now it just punches through that mix a bit nicer. I'm really happy with this track so far. So here I'm going to shift everything down 3 octaves, 3 semitones. So we need another element here on the second drop to make it interesting. So let's find something. Everything's going well so far. I'm going to put this on the drop. With some EQ, obviously the stuff that's on there is shit, so we'll just put an EQ on there. So yeah, I'm happy to have that just for now. We're going to process it, do some more post-processing, obviously because it's quite dry at the moment, so we're just going to do that. That's a bit better, maybe take some more of the low end out. Cool, so again we're going to freeze and flatten that just to get some more CPU. This poor computer it's a new MacBook, you know, you'd think they'd be able to hack it, but you can't really hack it, so that's okay. So yeah, the keys to dealing with that is freezing and flattening. It'll help you save CPU, which you can see in the top right. Mine's at 18%, so anything past 10% it starts to lag. I've seen it go up to like 1000% before, which is quite funny. Thought my computer was going to take off and take me to Mars or something. So here we go. Cool. Just keep adding processing to it. Needs more EQ. Get rid of that kick here. And then we're going to split this here, put this back to default. Cool, so that was a quick kind of tutorial. We don't want two, we just want one. Cool, so that's a nice little track, 3 minutes 45 seconds. Yeah, we did it quite quickly, so thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for sticking around. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and have a great day.
Bye.